Crap and Freaky Friday and Mean Girls and Another World. She did one of the Herbie movies. And Liz and Dick, the biographical team, Liz Taylor and Richard Burton. And so on the other end of our line right now is Lindsay Lohan's father, and he himself is an entrepreneur and an actor, Michael Lohan. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, Mike. How are you?
Good. You were not invited to that New Year's Eve party?
Even if I was, I wouldn't have gone, even if you paid me.
Yeah. What is
I
that?
have more important things on my agenda than that right now.
Is it true, you think?
No, it is true. Yes, it is true. I mean, just like Lindsay got an appearance last month for $150,000 to do a pink energy drink appearance. The only thing is, I mean, well, you know, there's two ways of looking at it. Did she do it because she needs money to pay her tax bills and some of the financial burdens that she has, or did she do it because she wanted to go out and party, and claiming that it would be one thing if she went there and she didn't drink and she didn't party, but it was another thing that her mother went with her, and her mother took her by the hand, and I think everyone saw from the pictures what kind of condition her mom was in. I mean, it's kind of like the blind leading the blind, if you ask me. Lindsay has a big court date coming up, and she really needs to focus on, you know, trying to turn her life around and showing the court that she needs it. So, and I really think she needs to be in a rehab instead of jail, but you never know what's going to happen when you slap the court in the face like this.
When you know, we read something like this, and you read it all, and it must be awful to read about your daughter and your family in newspapers. What percentage of it, if you were to take a guess, is actually true? What you read or hear in the TV shows and TMZ and all that?
Well, what you read is one thing. What you see is another. I mean, a picture says 1,000 words. When you see people out drinking and partying or being in places that they shouldn't be, that's true. The things that are said, you know, some are true, some are not true. What percentage? I couldn't really tell you. I mean, they take every story, even a positive story, and they turn it around and make it negative. But there's not many positive things to write about lately, are there?
No, and they tend to like the sensational, and you know, here it is. These are human beings we're talking about. Your daughter, it's unimaginable for most of us, really. Was there any indication at all early on that this presumably hardworking, if she was that successful early in her life, would be so caught up in the fast world?
No, Mike, there really weren't. I mean, not through my whole. I was married to Dina for 19 years, and up until a point of my divorce, Lindsay was 17 going on 18 years old, and there was no sign whatsoever of drinking or partying. As a matter of fact, if her mom had a drink in front of her, Lindsay would say, "Mom," or you ask me, "Daddy, don't let Mom drink." But it wasn't that often that Dina drank, but when she did, it was just uncontrollable. But that was the situation, and you know, things were great, and there was no sign of this. But kids are really interventionists, and more often than not, I see the abandonment issue and the divorce issue play in the lives of children in a very negative way. If parents can't keep the kids out of their own, you know, differences, so to speak, then the kids, and there's a wedge put between the kids, then they suffer from it, and the parents are wrong for doing that. You don't alienate each other. You keep your differences aside, and you keep a close, stable relationship with your ex, so that your kids have that stability too, and that just wasn't the case. I mean, it's still to today when Dina gets what she wants, she just, you know, she doesn't live up to that promise and keeping the kids close to me because she's afraid. Lindsay's the goose that laid the golden egg for Dina. I mean, you don't think Dina benefited by going and she didn't get, you know, $10,000, $20,000 from Lindsay and get that goodie bag that was worth $100,000? That's what the prince gives out, some very hefty goodie bags, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, that whole Brunei thing is uncomfortable to begin with from the stories that I read. Obviously, Lindsay was not involved in the darkest part of it, which, from what I understand, is when the women go to Brunei and are basically harem girls, for the better way to say it, I guess. But how do you tell a teenager, because there are a lot of parents right now who are empathizing, how do you tell a teenager anything without seeming heavy-handed and making them want to rebel even more?
You do. You just have to. You have to be a parent and put your foot down. I mean, encourage them in the right things, but when they do something wrong, look at it. I don't care how old Lindsay was, my son Michael, Allie, and Cody. When they did something wrong, you know, I put my foot down. They were, you know, their car was taken away. They weren't able to go out with their friends. I took their cell phone away. But that's what you have to do. You have to be a parent, not a friend to your kids. And, you know, there's certain things that, that are just, you can't let them cross the line. And I try my best not to do that. But, I put my hands in the air. I'm going to fight for her in court to go to rehab. And I'm not going to stop trying to get her in the right place, even if I have to be vocal about it.
What is gromsocial.com?
Well, it's funny you said that because I really was inspired when I was going through the Internet. I work for, I'm the head of development for a public relations firm, and a project crossed our desk called gromsocial.com, and was created by an 11-year-old genius named Zach Marks. And basically it's a Facebook for kids, and he's going to be the next Mark Zuckerberg, no matter how you look at it. He's doing Good Morning Florida today up in Orlando. It's a safe, secure Facebook for kids. And the reason it got my attention was because he actually built in an anti-drug and alcohol campaign, an anti-bullying campaign, and also an anti-smoking campaign. And it's really a learning objective where kids can interact and learn and share from each other. It's very secure. It meets with all the COPA requirements. As a matter of fact, to the highest regard. And to all the parents that are listening now, I really think they should go on there and look at gromsocial.com, because they're going to see that this is a great, great place for kids to interact and really learn from each other.
A safe environment, GROM Social, gromsocial.com. Good luck to you and your family. We'll get to gromsocial.com, a safe place to send your kids. That's Michael Lohan, the father of Lindsay Lohan, and an entrepreneur, and he promotes substance abuse awareness.